Hello everyone, I'm coming at you with a new collection review. This is my 1,000 subscriber special. I want to thank you all for getting me this far. And for this collection, I've had to move just to have a bigger space, so I apologize for any background noise. So, I'm going to do this in chronological order of the movies, going 1, 2, Clone Wars, 3, Rebels, Rogue One, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And after that will be the expanded universe type characters. So, first up, we got episode 1. So this is everyone I have for episode 1. I'm not going to go completely in depth for every guy because that would take forever. I'll just point out some of my favorites, such as Yaddle right there. I really like the Naboo Guard. All the pod racers are really cool as well. The 6 astromech droids are really cool too. This one's like a Watto junk droid. And then the battle droid army next to the MTT. I'm not going to be showing all the vehicles because once again it would take too long. Maybe I'll do a separate video if you guys like this video. But let's go to episode 2. Okay guys, and before we get started with episode 2 figures, I want to specify that most of these guys I did not actually collect. It's my brother who did a lot of this. I did a lot of stuff earlier in my childhood, but I do Legos now, as most of you would know. And for stop motions in the future, right now I'm working on a Lego one, but after that, I'm thinking of recreating some of the movies. So, let me know what you think about that. So, episode 2. Here's the Jedi. My favorites right there is Coleman Trebor, the dinosaur Jedi. We had a few senators and the Senate Guard. We got Dexter, Yodas. We got a small amount of Geonosian droids. Another one of my favorite parts, the War Room Council. So we did get very recently we got the War Room. So we got Poggle, Newt Gunray, all these really obscure figures. And over on the side we have the clone troopers. So we got 2 of each of every color, plus 3 regular white clones. One of them's the poncho guy, a clone pilot, a trainee clone, and then we have the ARC troopers. So one of them's from the comic pack. He's just a regular figure. Then these came in the ARC Trooper Hunt for Grievous set. So, that's episode 2, so we'll get on to the Clone Wars. Okay guys, and on to the Clone Wars, which is the biggest and also my favorite part of the collection. So, here's a broad overview of all our guys. So we'll start off with the Jedi, just a quick overview. My favorites is right there. Also the Temple Guard. Going down the line, we have the Snow variants right there. We got the Mandalorians. Geonosians, little Road to the Hut right there. The Brainworms. The Droid General from the movie. We got the 2 tactical droids right there, which are pretty cool. Some of the Sith shown throughout the show. The Bounty Hunters. One of my favorites is Embo right there. And on to the clones. So we're starting off with just the green colored clones. We'll move down to the red. The cool Riot Guard trooper right there. We got some Wolf Pack. Some 212th and a cool Bomb Squad trooper. Some 501st. Denel being one of my favorite clones. Geonosian clones and just some plain white clones. Along with Slick Squad right there. Then, taking you to the back a little bit further, we got the ARF troopers, like camouflage ones. In the back we have pilots and gunners. Then we have some astromech droids right there. Admiral Yularen leading the commanders. Commander Thorn. Zoom in a little bit further. There's Commander Locke, Commander Doom right there, and the ARC troopers. Alright, and that does it for the Clone Wars. So moving on to Episode 3.
Okay, and up next we have the Episode 3 collection. Now, this one's probably second biggest compared to the Clone Wars.
So, here's an overall look at everything. We got the clone turbo tank in the background. Like I said, I'm not going to show every vehicle, but it's one of the best ones we have. So starting off with the Jedi, we have people like Luminara, CC-10, Kit Fisto, Zet. We have a couple droids. We have C-3PO and a few astromech droids, one of them belonging to Kit Fisto. Over here we have 4 Palpatines and 2 Grievouses. This Grievous is supposed to have 4 arms, but unfortunately did not survive our childhood. Over here we have the Episode 3 droids, 3 super battle droids, 2 regular battle droids, a crab droid, and a spider droid. Over here we just have some random background characters, 2 Nemodian guards, a Mustafar miner, and the firefighter. We have our senators, Padme, Mon Mothma, the Utapau guy, and the Royal Guard. We have 5 Wookiees from Episode 3. Then once again, like the Clone Wars, the biggest part is the clones. So up front we have young Tarkin leading the clones. This broad overview, point out someone cool. That Scout Trooper's from a comic, he's pretty cool. We got 2 Galactic Marines. Over there we have a BARC Trooper. We've got some pilots, and then the commanders in the background. We have Cody, Gree, Bly, Thyre, Oppo. We have 4 airborne troopers. That about does it for Episode 3. Let's get on to Rogue One.
Okay, guys, and next up we have the Rebels collection. This is the smallest collection we have simply because they didn't make a whole lot of figures for this one, and we just weren't very interested in the show. Not saying it wasn't a good show, just it wasn't as good as the Clone Wars. So, just a broad overview. That's it. Not too many figures. Here's the Ghost Crew, starting with Kanan, Hera, Zeb, Sabine, and Ezra. We don't have Chopper. In the back, we have Kanan in his disguise, just a regular trooper, and a speeder trooper. Over here, we have Fen Rao, who's really, really cool, and just the Rebels Princess Leia. Then we have the Inquisitors and Darth Maul. The Seventh Sister would not stand up for the love of all things holy. She doesn't have any holes in her foot. So, then we have the Grand Inquisitor, all very nice figures. So that's it. So, after this, let's get on to Episode 4. So my bad, guys, up next is actually Rogue One. So, Rogue One, my favorite Star Wars movie. Let's get started.
So we have a broad overview. We have a decent amount of guys. Starting with the main cast, we have Baze, Chirrut, K2SO, Jyn, Cassian, and Bodhi. For the Imperial side, we have 2 Shore Troopers, a few just regular Stormtroopers, Tank Trooper, Ground Crew. We have 3 Death Troopers. We are missing one. We must have misplaced them. We have one without the vest on. Then we have Krennic, yeah. Over here we have some variants, 2 Jins and a Cassian. Up next we have some of the other leaders, Saw, Galen Urso, and my personal favorite from the movie, Admiral Raddus. We have some Scarif troopers with Bistan and Pow. And then some Saw's guys over there. So we're all pretty good. Now we're going to Episode 4.
Okay, everyone, here is the Episode 4 collection. I just want to say for the record, none of the guys are being reused throughout the different collections, so every single guy you see is a separate character. So, starting up with the first cast and crew, we got Han, Chewie, Luke, Old Ben, C-3PO, and R2-D2.
So first up, we have the Cantina and Mos Eisley crew. So we got people like Hammerhead, Greedo, the Jawas. Over here we have Ceremony, Luke and Leia. Some Tusken Raiders, some Rebel soldiers. Over here are Rebel pilots from the Battle of Yavin. So up first we have Gold 1, which is Gold Leader, then Gold 2, Gold 3. Over here we have Red Leader, Red 2, Red 3, which is Biggs. We have 2 Biggs. We don't have Red 4, but Red 5's the vintage Luke. And Red 6 is Jack. We got some droids over here, vintage Gonk droid. A few more vintage characters over there. And for Empire side, we have 3 different Darth Vaders, Death Star Trooper, vintage TIE Fighter pilot, a gunner, and several stormtroopers. So that does it for episode 4. Let's get right on to episode 5.
Okay, and now we have the episode 5 collection. So starting off, we have the Bounty Hunters with Bosk, Dengar, Forlome, Boba Fett, Zuckuss, and IG-88, who is the vintage one. Here's a broad overview of everyone else. Did throw on the Hoth AT-AT for you. So starting up to the Rebel soldiers, we have a couple of Han Solos, General Reekin, and a bunch of Hoth Rebel troopers. Over here we have a few Ugnaughts, one of them being vintage. We have some Snow Speeder pilots, the 3 in the back being Luke. We have 2 more Boba Fetts, one vintage, this one with the awesome flames coming out of the jetpack. We have a few protocol droids, one of them being a Death Star. 2 Chewbacca's. We have Luke and Yoda in the Dagobah training gear. Over for the Imperial side, we have the General of the Attack, Veers. We have 2 AT-AT drivers, 2 Snow Scout Troopers, and 4 Snow Troopers. Then we have a bunch more vintage in the back. We have Lando, Solo, just a bunch of them. Alright, that'll be it for episode 5. On to episode 6. Okay, everyone, this is the episode 6 collection. Remember when I told you I had another Death Trooper? I wasn't lying, I found him. We also found another AT-AT driver. So getting them out of the way, let's take a look at the episode 6 collection. Starting up front, we have Han Solo, full focus, then Lando, and then we have a couple Luke Skywalkers. We have a couple astromechs over there, and a bunch of Ewoks, all pretty nice. We have 4 Endor troopers, 2 Admiral Akbars, one of the new ones, one of the older ones, and a Mon Calamari tech officer. Then we have Nien Nunb. We have a bunch of pilots. I really like the Mon Calamari one and this Twi'lek one right here. We have a few vintage ones in the back. Then we have Jabba's people. I really like Squid Head, Yak Face. There's Jabba himself. A bunch of his guards. Over here is the Imperial forces. We have 3 Scout Troopers, 4 TIE Fighter pilots, 3 more Imperial guards, Emperor Palpatine himself, Moff Jerjerrod, and 2 Scout Walkers. Top it off, we have the Endor AT-AT as well as the Hoth one. That's always a nice way to end out the episode 6. Now on to Force Awakens. Okay, up next we have the Force Awakens collection. This one's decently sized. We got quite a few of the people who came out. So here's a broad overview of what we have. Starting up, we have Han Solo, Rey in their desert gear. We have Finn and BB-8. We have some Resistance guys with Admiral Akbar, Poe in his officer uniform, cool looking droid, Maz, and Luke Skywalker. We have some Resistance troopers with Elo Asti, who's one of my favorite guys out of this collection, Grizz Fricks. And we have Kylo Ren and his buddy. We have some First Order troopers, including Phasma, a couple pilots, and the Rathtar. Up here we have some background characters, the guys who come up with Han, and some guys you see in the back of Maz's castle. So that about does it for this collection. Up next we'll have The Last Jedi. Okay guys, and up next we have the collection from The Last Jedi, the most recent Star Wars movie at the time of this recording. So, first up, here's a broad overview of the characters we have. Starting up with the main cast, we have 2 Reys, Chewbacca, Poe, and Finn. We got 3 different Roses, all different outfits. We got an old hermit Luke right there. What would this movie be without the Porgs? We have Canto Bight police officer, DJ, and Princess Leia. We have the Resistance pilots with Poe and the bomber. We got 4 snow troopers, one of them being a First Order Walker driver, and an Executioner trooper, and a First Order gunner. We have General Hux,
Kylo Ren, and 2 Praetorian Guards. Alright, that's all for The Last Jedi. Let's get on to the Expanded Universe characters. Okay, now we're on the last part of the collection. Expanded Universe, comics, video game characters, all here. And real quick, I forgot to put BB-8 and BB-9E in the Last Jedi collection. So, grab them out of the way. Let's get started on this one. So, broad overview of here. First up, we have Delta Squad with Sev, Scorch, Boss, and Fixer. We also have just a plain white commando. Over here, we have 2 more comic clones, some Battlefront people, Engineer, Jet Trooper, a couple Bazooka Troopers. This guy from the old Clone Wars video game. We have a nice little Mandalorian here. I think he's pretty cool. Kit Fisto, a comic Rebel Fleet Trooper. We have this guy, I think his name is like C3PX. He had to buy all the packs to get pieces of him. We just don't have his right arm. That really stinks. Up here we have some Force Unleashed guys. We have Star Killer, so that's pretty cool. Then we have Darth Malgus and Darth Plagueis. So, that'll be it for the collection. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for getting me 1,000 subscribers. Hope you continue to watch.